again, Diane from So Charming Quilts, and I'm going to continue working on my April quilt. Remember, we made a 2022 calendar quilt with Robert Kaufman. We made it in the pastels, those peaches and browns and creams, and we decided to continue the theme and do a brightly colored quilt with our black sashing. So what you see on the floor is part of our quilt. I can't get it all in my video because I'm going to swing around to the machine in just a moment, but you can see that I've added the sashing between the blocks, and then I added the sashing between the rows. So now it's time to connect those rows together. And I'm going to give you a quick tip to help you line those smaller sashing rows, or sashing the pieces between my blocks and my rows up. So let me swing around to my machine. All right, I'm actually starting with my bottom block. And I'm going to take my ruler, and where I sewed my sashing to connect my two blocks, I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to continue that line of stitching by marking it with a pencil. All right, and I know this probably is not going to show up on video, but I just extended that stitch line with my pencil marks. Now I'm going to take the block that I'm sewing it to, or the row that I'm sewing it to, and I'm going to carefully line up my pencil marks with the sashing that I want it to line up with. And then I'm going to pin it in place so that it doesn't shift while I'm sewing. And then I'm ready to sew my 1/4 inch seam. So let's do that, and I'll show you how well those pieces now line up. All right, let's see how we did here. All right, when I open that up, my sashing now lines up straight along that line. So now I'll go and I will continue the process. This time I'll be adding this piece to my next row, but now I've got more lines that need to connect up. So again, I'm just going to take my ruler, and for each of these sashings that I need to line up, I'm just going to extend my line. Oh, and my pencil broke, so I'll have to go get a new pencil here. All right, so I have my markings. Now I can grab my next row. Which is this row here. And then again, I can carefully lay this on, matching all of those marks and pinning. And I'll come back through and pin this a little bit better, but just to kind of eyeball it. I'll pin and then I'll continue sewing. I'm going to do that for both my sections. So I'm going to do a top section, and then I'm going to do the bottom section, and then I'll come back and I'll show you. I'm going to flip that. There's one middle row that does not have any sashing on it that we'll need to add to one of the sides of the triangles when it is complete. So happy sewing. I hope that you'll join us for all of our tips and tricks. Thanks.